Welcome to the Gooniverse, everybody. A very special episode. As you can see, Tim and John aren't here, but we are. So,
what's up? What up, everybody?
Yeah, so today, I think if you can tell by Mosh's shirt, not mine, we're talking about the Justice League Snyder Cut. And I think I'm perfectly dressed for the occasion because I'm wearing Dragon Ball Z. So, we aren't going to talk spoilers today.
Mm-hmm.
So,
spoiler alert.
So it has been 2 weeks since the movie is out on HBO Max. If you haven't watched it, this is your warning. I'm not saying click off the video because we do need the views. You can still watch it. We're all good with it, but
spoiler discussion, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I think first of all, we both watched the theatrical cut and we watched the Snyder cut. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, you have something to say. Go ahead.
From now on, I am pretending 2017 doesn't exist. Doesn't happen. It just doesn't exist to me. The Snyder Cut is the real version. It's the
when you said 27 doesn't exist, I'm like, come on, Wonder Woman came out that year.
The 2017 Justice League movie is what I meant.
It's not canon anymore.
No, not the year, but the 2017 Justice League movie.
Right.
Watching this one, I'm sure many people felt this way. Like, it makes you upset of the first movie. Like, how was it that bad? Joss Whedon reshoots, and Zack Snyder had to move away due to tragedy, God forbid, and what have you.
Rest in peace to his daughter, man.
Rest in peace to Autumn. She'd be very proud of him.
Excuse me.
This movie, Zack Snyder's version, is the. Okay, I'm going to just start with this. Possibly the best comic book movie ever made. That's really high bar.
Okay.
Really high bar.
That is.
I'm going to start out strong. I'm going to start with that right?
Bar,
It's a high bar. We can have a discussion later in terms of rankings of movies and what have you. But
that would be a future episode, probably.
That could be a future. I'm just gonna say from the get-go, I believe after seeing it twice now all the way through, that it is arguably one of, if not the best comic book movie ever made, and the first 2017 version just doesn't exist to me anymore. It's gone. Not even gonna think about it.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. The 2017 version. It was. I'm not gonna bash it as bad as you. I'm not gonna say it was like trash. It was fine. Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah. But I can understand where you're coming from. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with
It's all good.
I can see it was fine for what it was. But what I thought about the original one was it basically was just Batman and friends.
Yeah.
Whereas here in the Snyder Cut, yes, it's a 4-hour-long movie. But every character was fleshed out, and you actually cared. And like I said, it wasn't just Batman and friends, right? And
I like how Snyder said this a long time ago in some review, in some interview. He said that, if they didn't, spoiler alert, if they didn't kill Superman in the movie before, right?
Batman v Superman.
Batman would almost have nothing to do because he has to bring them together. And Superman, I love that we see his full Man of Steel, BVS, and now Justice League. That's the whole arc.
That arc,
of Superman, and you see it all and correctly and really well played out, developed.
Oh, I agree.
So that was incredibly well done, and the fact that they decided Batman's going to be the guy to bring him together because he has these visions and stuff about the future and in dealing with Superman and what have you. So he's like, oh shit, I better. And Flash comes from the future, and thank God I'm jumping a little bit around.
No, we can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, but thank God that everything that we saw in Batman vs Superman, there's payoff in this Zack Snyder Justice League, which was missing from that first movie. And
I think especially one of the characters that got a huge facelift was Cyborg.
Yes,
and because Cyborg, let's be honest, nobody gave a shit about Cyborg ever, in my opinion. I liked him in Teen Titans. Right. But I mean, Cyborg was definitely a very overlooked character in DC Comics, but here we actually see that. Oh, first of all, he has daddy issues, and second of all, he was in a car accident. You know, they used the mother box to give him the cyborg body, so he's basically a T-800 from the Terminator movies.
T-800.
Can you imagine though, like cyborg in like another Terminator movie?
That would be part man, part machine. Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
And I took some notes about about
he came prepared. I didn't.
It's actually way too many to go. We probably won't even cover it all. But they did the whole cyborg origin in this Justice League movie, the entire origin, and it's beautiful. It's really well done. And I don't want to keep harping on the first original 2017 version, but there's a lot of discussion about how Joss Whedon and the actor Ray Fisher had issues, and therefore he cut out all those scenes, which is like all of his scenes was cut out, his whole origin, and it made it really bad, the first one. But anyway, I'm gonna focus on this.
I mean, we can it's kind of natural for us to compare it to the original one anyway, so it's totally fine. I think one thing I wanted to talk about was with that original one, the I'm gonna call it the Whedon cut. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it because it is Joss Whedon's version, technically. Yeah. Well, okay, it's Zack Snyder, then Joss Whedon, who completely basically made it his own movie. Anyway, I think with the Joss Whedon cut, like you saw, like even the coloration of that whole movie, it felt like that of one of those like really, out there kind of wonky kind of comedy films. You know what the coloration reminded me of? This is gonna be weird. If you've ever watched that movie, like 2003, it's a kids movie called Nanny McPhee. Like the coloration of Justice League.
I haven't seen.
It's basically like really. It's basically like Mary Poppins if she was really, really strict. That's what it is.
The 2017 version, you mean? Or
yeah.
With the orange and stuff.
Yeah, like or almost like even like Cat in the Hat. You know, I don't know if you saw that movie back when you were a kid, but
I didn't realize that color made such a difference. But
the colors was just so like extremely bright and like really popping. Like it's almost like like Skittles. Yeah. You know? And whereas they took and like even like in the last scene, it was all just in this really ugly red color, and then now they actually made it look more natural in the Snyder cut. Mm-hmm. And I like how they...
it's light and day. It's comparing... And I'm going to do my best to not compare anymore because I'm just going to pretend that first one... This is the real masterpiece. This is the masterpiece. Everyone who hasn't seen it, who even cares a fraction about comic book movies, should watch this movie. Yeah. And I personally think that it almost blows Infinity War out the water. Like it's really that's a really high bar.
That's Infinity a bit of a reach, but yeah,
that's huge. It's on par with those movies. To me because it's fantastically well executed and everything. Let's see. I was gonna say.
Can we talk about how much different Steppenwolf looks? Of course. How much cooler he looks.
Of course. That's like I have it in my note here. The armor, just the armor.
Yeah. He looked like a
night and day.
Yeah. Originally he looked like he bought like a gladiator costume from Party City.
I don't even.
Yeah. And here we are.
And now he's got armor that changes.
And it actually almost has light. It's almost like its own sentient being. Yeah. And that's really cool. And and his motivation to collect the mother boxes, which is basically like the Infinity Stones, if you think about it, kind of. And to get the mother boxes, his motivation is a lot more clearly defined here.
He has motivation in the first, and he didn't before. And but other than mother and I need to get those for that
was weird.
It just shows you how much of a difference it makes that let a director make the movie they want to make and not have everyone tell him what he can or can't do. And it's 4 hours long, yes. And most people probably can't sit down for 4 straight hours and watch.
I did like that they cut it down to parts.
Yeah.
It felt more like a comic book, actually.
That's true. Comics are divided in parts and that kind of thing. Book. Yeah, and I can't watch I don't think I can watch all the way from beginning to end straight without either falling asleep or something because I'm just like, it's hard for me to watch 4 straight hours.
So what was your plan of attack?
I watched parts 1 through 4 all the way, and then I watched parts 5, 6, and 7 second nights. Okay. I divided that way, and I feel like 6 and 7, the end is just like such an epic ending, and the nightmare and all those things. I'd rather like keep that for like if I want to watch it all, like I want to keep that there, and then because part 5 ends with the Superman rebirth and being reborn with the mother boxes and Flash, you know, doing that, and and I mean I have so many. We can go into each character and talk about each one at a time or what have you.
Oh yeah. I mean we can. I mean that's fine. We can do that totally because like I loved how Barry Allen like here I don't. He was looking. He was like looking for a job.
That's Barry Allen.
That was great. I loved that whole arc where he was kind of like looking for a job and we have cookies.
Yeah.
But he was out there. You know, we see the first inkling sight of Iris West, which was really cool to see. That was awesome. And I mean, see, the thing is, Ezra Miller and the Flash is kind of a more upbeat kind of character anyway.
Yep.
And him telling the jokes is fine.
It was perfect. It made perfect sense.
Absolutely, yeah. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Although anyway, and then the thing is, every other character was telling jokes. In
Marvel or the first
that first version, and I'm just like,
something's bleeding. Yeah,
what?
It's that's Joss Whedon there.
It's very tongue in cheek,
But dude, like so, having a director being able to, it's like he has a vision, and he originally thought it was going to be 3 parts, and I mean this first one, this one Justice League movie was 4 hours long. And it's divided into 7 parts, and there was going to be additional future movies, and we don't even know how that was going to pan out, but that would be epic.
Yeah, it was going to be 2 parts.
But
2 Justice League movies.
Comparing the first movie to this one is like comparing a Toyota Camry or any Toyota to a Tesla or a Lamborghini or a spaceship, whatever. It's completely different vehicle, and you cannot compare. It's just like the first one is going to be a trash heap compared to the second one. Yes. That is the best reference I can make.
Go on, Toyota's not that bad.
It's no, I'm not harping on Toyota.
I know.
I'm making a comparison.
I know, I get it. I'm just
starting from like kind of more beginning, Wonder Woman. This is the first scene of Wonder Woman is entirely better than her whole second movie, 84. It's entirely better. Just one scene of her, and. So they repeat that music every time that she comes on the screen. That like Greek music, ancient Greek.
It's a little different from her.
It gets repetitive. I will admit, but I think it's epic because she is an ancient Greek warrior, and she is almost immortal essentially.
But like the thing is, like you said. Yeah, like even if she's walking, they play her music. I'm like,
they a little bit overboard.
Calm down.
I agree.
Calm down,
but when she's ready for battle and she's taking out terrorists and all that
makes sense. Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude, to me that looks like woman power. That looks like empowerment for sure. It looks like an ancient warrior. You know what I'm saying? With values. Like the music tells me all this, and I really enjoyed that. And to be honest, try listening to that music and working out and tell me you don't get inspired.
Okay,
I bet you will. Because I
definitely do that, yeah. I liked, of course, Aquaman.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, Aquaman's story was really good. I mean, the movie was really good, by the way, the Aquaman film. And this is like a precursor, and it kind of really sets up a lot better the 2017 movie that Aquaman was. Well, 2017 or 2018, I'm sorry. But yeah, the 2018 movie that Aquaman was in, it really sets it up a lot better,
So my Aquaman notes is, before he joined the Justice League, did you realize that Batman recruiting him, and every scene was him in the Arctic? Mm-hmm. And so Aquaman is walking in frozen, not only dangerous waters, like obviously he's Aquaman and he can do that, but it's also frozen waters, and he's shirtless I'm like, is Jason Momoa like suffering hypothermia or something?
I know,
because that's freezing cold water. Like, unless it wasn't really and they just made it look that way, it's very possible.
I mean, that could have been there.
But like that whole beginning of Aquaman before he joined.
You know what I'm so glad they took out? I'm so glad they took out that. I heard you could talk to fish.
The fish, yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like I think Aquaman, all the jokes were there for Aquaman, like before the whole DC extended universe happened. And
now he's a badass.
Now, and I know that there's still people who make those jokes, and that's probably like 2 of you.
Good luck. Go up to Jason Momoa and make a joke.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's probably like 2 of them maybe now.
Dude, ain't no one gonna make a joke into Jason Momoa's face. Are you kidding me?
He looks exactly like the 90s Aquaman. And I love it.
Yeah.
Like from the Justice League cartoons, and even like the one where he loses his hand or whatever.
And off topic, he might be the most jacked actor who's a superhero that I've seen, other than Superman.
Him and maybe Chris Hemsworth.
Like he's so jacked. Like he's insanely jacked. And like in Aquaman movie, he was obviously same jacked too. But he's like in a room full of alpha males. He is the alpha of the alpha males.
Oh, from all
all of alpha males in the same room. He is like he could be the alpha, unless like The Rock is there maybe. But
that's
I'm like
good though.
Him and The Rock are the most alpha male actors in Hollywood.
I really want to see an interaction between Aquaman and The Rock's Black
Adam. That would be so sick.
Really nice.
Oh man, yeah.
I would love to see that. But yeah, I think Aquaman, he had a much more of a gripe with his father and everything. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really cool thing that they did because like your father just left you on the doorstep, and
you mean his mother?
Mother just left him. Oh yeah, he had his problem with his mother. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's like remember the movie. His mom is the one who left him, but it's okay. We don't have to revisit that.
Yeah,
but no, it's all good. It's correct in the chronological order of the movies because it takes place before.
And it made more sense because like when they first came up with the whole like order for all those DC movies, they put Justice League and then it was Wonder Woman. I was like, why doesn't that make it?
Was it?
Yeah, Justice League, then Wonder Woman, then Aquaman.
I thought Wonder Woman came before that, before Justice League. Remember? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
And then
Wonder Woman, then Justice League.
Yeah.
I still was wondering. I was like, so why are we doing a Justice League movie so early? But this made a little bit more sense.
If this was the movie we got back before, as we say, it made everything would have made sense. Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, man, everyone's saying this online or YouTube or review wise is that when you give a director who has the vision and like Zack Snyder and now all the fans are happy for him because I think Batman the theatrical cut of BVS I think that really messed with the executives' heads or what have you. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my god, they're bombing our movie and and we need to change everything now. We need to make it Marvel and we need to make it 2 hours and we need to. They decided to do that. I think it sounds like it's like let's just change our movie based on what they're reacting to versus let's just put out the movie and the product that we see is the best for
which begs the question. Do you think that if Zack Snyder, even in 2017, got to do his original vision, which is obviously this, do you think 4 hours would they have put it on theater?
Well, it's not really possible to do a 4-hour movie in the theater, but Endgame is 3 hours, by the way, which has been #1 movie and whatever until Avatar. Avatar is nearly 3 hours. Lord of the Rings is all 3 hours or more. And most people have seen one of those movies. So 3 hours might be the limit, or like if you go over, that's like pushing it in a theater because you're sitting down in a chair and a big screen, like that's hard to do, like straight.
Yeah, you only have so much popcorn and so much drinks.
Popcorn, drinks, bathroom breaks, missing stuff. I gotta say, thank God for HBO Max and Warner Brothers for making this happen because now I can pause it, I can go take a nap, I can use the bathroom, I can do whatever, come back and watch it. And
I think that's the thing. HBO Max. I think this HBO Max. One of the good things to come out of quarantine was HBO Max.
Oh yes.
Because, all these streaming services, HBO Max, Disney Plus, all those things. Because now, excuse me, they can make, movies and shows that really stretch the story.
Yep.
And really give us something to care about. Whereas, I'm not watching an hour and a half movie. Oh, okay, it's all done.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the good things, kind of a blessing in disguise, if you will. Now, I guess one other thing, what else did I want to really talk about before I talk about one other point that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
There was something else.
I have more notes.
Yeah,
to
why don't we look at your notes?
Okay, so the Amazons, this is like the female version of 300. Like, Zack Snyder directed 300.
There you go.
Perfect for making a female version of 300 into Justice League, which is what the Amazons
That was
look
really
like.
cool.
Dude, not one of those women, like, you would look at and be like, yeah, they could whoop my ass. Like, I'm not going to mess with any of these women.
Yeah.
They could all kick my ass.
Yeah, they all could kick.
And the big ones who, like, did that were using the hammer, like, they were absolutely jacked and, like...
They were.
Like, holy shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was epic, and finally, dude, it's just nice to see real, like, a correct adaptation of the DC Themyscira and Amazons, and, like, yeah, they're supposed to be 5,000-year-old, Greek, not technically immortal, but essentially immortal, but unless they die in battle or something.
I mean, they're
warriors.
Superhuman. They're superhuman. That's what they are. If I can use that word. I don't
They
know.
are.
Yeah.
But they can die, definitely.
They can die,
and,
yeah.
They're not
Yeah,
immortal.
I mean-
Diana is stronger.
Yeah,
than-
what's his face? Steppenwolf kills a bunch of
He
them.
kills a lot.
So
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, I like that they kind of changed up the flashback scene a little bit to show about the mother boxes where Wonder Woman talked about them.
Thank you.
They didn't show because I remember there was a scene where like they like one of the guys like stabbed the warriors and he was like turned into a parademon and shit. I was like,
Yeah, that was not there, I thought.
I didn't mind that. They did have a Green Lantern. They still have the Green Lantern there, which was pretty cool.
Which leads us to Darkseid. We
Darkseid was really cool.
finally get the big bad of DC, who is the ultimate big bad. He is the Thanos of DC, arguably even more powerful. That's debatable.
I agree with that.
But yeah, like he's fine. That is the bad guy. And anyone who has watched, I think we both have. If you grew up watching the animated cartoons, Batman's show, Superman show, and then the Justice League.
Yeah.
If you grew up watching that, you became a kid again because you're watching that in a real life movie. That's what it is, and that's what really brings me joy.
I'm just really looking forward
justice.
because I kind of just want to see another continuation because I actually want to see more of Darkseid's story.
Yeah,
You know, although like with Thanos, he had there was some emotional part to him with Gamora and everything. Excuse me.
no worries.
But Thanos, we don't see that yet. You know, he seems a lot more cold-blooded. Darkseid. We see he's a lot more cold-blooded than Thanos.
Oh, he's like, I'm gonna destroy the world, and I'm looking for this thing, and that's it.
Yeah, and he gives two shits because
that's it.
He's looking for the anti-life equation, which, by the way, you don't need like a glove or anything to use that. You just, have to be good at math.
And I was very surprised and so like I'm shocked that you actually see a young Darkseid battling against Earth's ancient warriors,
that was really good.
Atlanteans, Themyscira, Amazons, Themyscira, and I guess gods and man and stuff like. All fighting against, and the Green Lantern against Darkseid, young one, and like whoa, like we actually see that, and that makes this movie so much better and so much more fleshed out, which is what we needed before, obviously. But yeah, and now that we understand, and the saying goes that we all know, a great hero is nothing without
A great villain.
And now Steppenwolf is finally a character,
villain,
character that we know why is he doing what he's doing, what's his backstory, and why instead of just I'm gonna conquer for no reason, we know why, and that makes all the difference in this movie.
And I do want to backtrack just a little bit. This is kind of veering off just a little bit. I want to talk about Alfred for a second. Jeremy Irons' Alfred. Now, Mosh, you and I, we watched it in separate times. I actually watched it with a couple of other friends, but one of them pointed out, they're like, man, I don't know, man, because like we saw the Dark Knight trilogy too. Yeah. And they said, man, Michael Caine's Alfred was so much better than Jeremy Irons. Oh. I can see why, and here's why, because
it's hard to compare.
It is, but I can understand the argument. It's because Alfred, the Michael Caine's Alfred, was more of a father figure to Bruce Wayne than Jeremy Irons. Like, he was actually a lot more nurturing and caring for Bruce, whereas Jeremy Irons is just that. He's a butler, you know? and he's just yes, Master Bruce, your tea, and all that good stuff. I mean, he's a freaking badass. He's like the most badass butler. He's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, yeah, he doesn't have that same sort of familial connection that Michael Caine did. So I can see where they come from. But if we are going to go with the theory that this is on a totally parallel universe from the Dark Knight movies, then I can see. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, they're not really connected. They're just. I mean, it's kind of a cop out sometimes when you say multiverse. But I can also
cop
see.
out. I think that's the beauty of it. Is that they open the doors for connecting every DC movie and property ever. You can connect that because in the comics there is a multiverse, which means multiple universes. So anyway, I actually have a note here. I liked the Bruce and Alfred exchange. I thought it was a great exchange because Alfred is always that's what Alfred's supposed to do. He's like, okay, look, I know your parents died when you were a kid, and I know you're dedicated your entire life to fighting crime.
Yeah.
Dressed as a bat and in a cave, brooding all the time and what have you, and gone through that's what Batman is, and all those good stuff. But like Alfred is doing his job. He's like, Master Wayne or whatever, why you have to get all these superheroes together, and why do if you his great comment about if you have a charging bull, don't
wave the
red cape. It's like, well, this red cape charges back, which is Superman.
Yeah.
So that was pretty epic. But both Alfred and Bruce had very clear like why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Reasoning and. Bruce, and this is, I don't know if you want to get into the Batman talk, but I'm convinced now Batfleck is my number one Batman.
Oh yeah,
he is now. He's now my number one. That could be a different talk if you want to.
I mean, we talked about it in like our first episode back.
We did. He's number one to me, and real quick, we've never seen a Batman in a live action movie with other DC characters that's not Gotham related before. So this is the first time we've actually seen a Justice League Batman in live action. And that
is a fair point.
You can argue it's harder to be Batman when Superman's there or Wonder Woman's there.
Frankly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, like the Superman resurrection scene was really good.
That was so epic.
That was
so epic.
Yeah,
finally.
Go ahead.
Finally, I mean, hey, black suit Superman.
Yeah.
He comes out. He comes back from the dead. He doesn't know who he is. He just knows he is super, and he's fighting them as he did. But the entire scene was better.
And we didn't see CGI.
Oh, dude. And by the way,
in the beginning of the movie, it started with Superman's death.
Yeah,
which was more
epic.
impactful.
Which was so epic.
It was more impactful
in slow motion. I was like, oh my god, you're seeing him die, and him dying activated the mother boxes.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
And more impactful than some kid recording him with an iPhone. With
Joss Whedon's dead to me.
Yeah. Ouch.
Joss Whedon, never again watching movies, so congrats for you. But
unless you go back to Marvel,
don't give him so much credit. Why are you being such nice? But
I mean, didn't he do the first Avengers movie?
Yeah, but that was like 10 years ago. I don't care. it's that's history.
All right. Joss Whedon is canceled.
For me, I don't care about him. But dude, Superman Resurrection. By the way, instead of the "Do you bleed" thing, which is cool.
No.
Do you realize he was trying to kill Batman? And
he was.
Batman has gauntlets to deflect the
they didn't show.
Holy shit!
We finally saw that.
I've never seen that before in anything. He could deflect, one time it's the first time he got hit by
Wonder Bat.
It's like, oh shit, you have to throw it off because
he's Wonder Bat.
Yeah, and Superman, really he could have easily just lasered him if he kept doing it, but then Lois Lane shows up, which was epic. Yeah. That makes it's way better than
Lois Lane is the key.
Yeah,
and that also made more sense with. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I really do want to talk about the black suit Superman.
Okay,
that looked. Wasn't
that beautiful?
That is all I wanted. That's all I wanted you to do. That's all the world can expect you to do. Like,
and
how?
And the reason is the reason the black suit Superman is important is because in the comics,
yes,
after he dies from Doomsday, which. By the way, little trivia for everybody. In 1992 or 3, when that comic Death of Superman came out, it became the #1 grossing comic of the time. They had to kill Superman because comic sales were down. They're like, how do we bring ourselves up? Let's kill our greatest superhero, Superman. Make it a monster and do that, blah, blah, blah. And so when they bring him back afterwards, he had to wear that suit because he was coming from the dead. Had to absorb the sun better and so get him back to super strong. So
I kind of
that's why they had to do it.
I kind of really wish that would be like his permanent suit because that just
permanent suit. Yeah,
that looks so good.
This is really cool, right?
It's really nice.
Do you remember the first Superman or the first 2 Superman original 80s movies before?
Like the 80s movies?
The 80s, yeah.
The Christopher Reeve ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one with General Zod? Because this black suit Superman reminds me of the General Zod outfit, which was a black version of that.
I can see that.
You know,
even the one that he was wearing in Man of Steel.
Yeah. Like General Zod's Man of Steel. Yeah,
it was just really, really good to see that because it's so much more accurate to the comic books.
Yeah,
and and there are a lot of cool like establishing shots with Batman. By the way, speaking of which, like where Batman is like kind of like standing on a gargoyle and he's looking down. That's really, really nice.
Real Batman.
That was really nice, and I think this is the most comic accurate version of every superhero.
Yep.
Of the entire Justice League.
100%. And dude, you could argue it's the most comic accurate movie ever.
Right.
If all comic, that means you, Marvel, all of you. But to me, after watching it, that could be we can do rankings, whole different show and all those things.
I think because I know John especially will have something to say about.
Yeah, and I actually made another list of ranking those Marvel and DC movies. I ranked them and stuff myself, so I want to do comparative.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, we should. Do that. But
we can have probably a couple more thoughts here.
Some final thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. The Flash. So the end of the movie, he has to go through the Speed Force because he actually failed at first, and then he has to turn back time and go through Flashpoint because he got hit by
Cyborg looks into the mother boxes. He sees pretty much the nightmare of Batman. It has been completely, seen. I was trying to use a much more bigger SAT kind of word, but that's okay. No, it's been it's finally been fulfilled, I guess, with, Lois Lane dying, Darkseid turning Superman to the dark side.
Okay, so
that was terrible. I was so sorry.
The nightmare, okay, so I actually don't understand this. So the nightmare, is it really a dream or is it a actual
It's a reality. It is a reality.
Because he's one of the realities.
Yeah, he's dreaming this, but like it is one of the realities that can happen. Remember, Lois Lane is the key. If she dies, we're fucked. All right. And by the way, we can swear this is the Gooniverse. It's fine. But I'm sorry. That's the only other way I could say it. But we're pretty much screwed if he dies. If she dies, and that's the whole idea with Lois Lane is the key. That's when he says, right? He tells Diana about the whole vision he had and that Lois Lane is the key. And she says no because she loves him. And he's like, no, it's something darker.
And Superman's rebirth, do you recall the Kryptonian ship was talking? When Cyborg was like, hey, we want to bring you back and do that. And she was like, this action cannot be reversed.
Like, I strongly advise you to not do this.
Is that Zack Snyder saying that, like, that's the next movie or something? That, like, the nightmare thing is a movie? Or is it a future that will happen? Or... I'm like, maybe. Or did they make it happen by doing that?
It can go so many places.
I don't get it.
I think my personal theory is that, when they were going to do, Ben Affleck was going to do a Batman movie wherein, he was going to direct it and he was going to be Batman. I wouldn't have been surprised if this particular reality, it seems more like a what if kind of storyline. Very, very similar to, the game Injustice, where Superman... is killed by Lois Lane. Yeah, Joker does kill Lois Lane in that reality.
And by the way...
we'll talk about this in the end.
You could talk about the nightmare part, like the whole episode if you wanted to. Okay, so at the end, that was an epic extra, additional scene they added. Thank God. Yeah. That was so epic. We actually see like, thank you, Zack Snyder. Like, we should be framing his picture, building a monument for him. Like, he's Superman. Thank you.
Print him on like $1
because this man has just made dreams come true for most of us comic book fans. But
yes,
we actually got to see Batman and Joker actually interact.
I'll drink to that first. Yeah.
Cheers! Yeah, we actually get to see that. And by the way, like, if you have to rely on the Joker to help you save the world, then, like, how screwed are you already?
Exactly. Yeah, then you're like, it's like, oh yeah, you're not doing so hot, are you? Over there?
Not doing that is like you could not do worse. Are you kidding me? Like, you're like, if we have to bring Joker along, who could kill everyone anyway, and what for no reason, and he knows who Batman is. Like, everyone happens to know Bruce's identity now, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's good for the story, but Zach wanted that, but I'm just like, shit, everyone knows now.
So can we also talk about the one person that I was like, I completely just freaked out when this guy came, but freaking
Manhunter,
Martian Manhunter. I was like,
that was crazy.
I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, I was half asleep when I watched that scene. And I suddenly just woke up from it. I was like,
"Oh my god, it's Martian!" Because her eyes turn red and like, "Whoa, who the hell?" Yeah.
And he actually looks really good. You know, it looks it's a very good looking Martian Manhunter. Yeah, he can be on the screen if he wants. Yeah. Hey, so
my boy Keanu.
Yeah, Keanu is here, and he's on the video. But yeah, and
that was so cool, dude. And
really nice.
So Martian Manhunter, they set up a lot of future.
Remember the first original campaign, Unite the Seven?
Yes, he was probably the 7th.
There you go.
Okay,
and let's also so final question that I want to ask.
Yeah,
what does this mean for the future of the DC films?
Oh man, that is a good question. If I don't know if you saw like the slate of upcoming movies, what we know for sure is upcoming is the new version of Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
which
is in Earth 2.
Earth 2, totally different universe, but still Batman, just a young one.
I just can't wait for that one.
That's gonna be sick. I agree.
Be good. I mean, a lot of people are giving flack for Robert Pattinson. But here's the thing. No, they did the same for Ben Affleck. They did the same for Christian Bale. And they did the same for Michael Keaton.
Fans always overreact. Always.
It's
just
sparkly vampire. Yeah.
Always.
Whatever.
Yeah. So that's coming out next year. Flash is coming out next year.
Aquaman 2.
Aquaman 2 and Black Adam is like next year. 22. Which is a pretty epic slate of movies, right? And by the way, Wonder Woman 3, please fix what happened in Wonder Woman 84. Like, we're not forgiving that yet.
I honestly didn't even watch Wonder Woman 84.
Good. You saved 2.5 hours.
Really? Okay. I didn't even watch it.
Don't watch. It sucks, dude. It sucks. No offense. But
yeah.
now Keanu's taking over. We got to put him in
What did you think about Justice League?
But the future, man. Okay, so... And what to wrap it up, as everyone is aware who's following this, everyone's aware of hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Mm-hmm. Let's just pray that they really do restore the Snyderverse, because who doesn't want to see the next movie after what we just saw? Like, who doesn't? Like, everybody wants
I do want to see, all right.
You'll be fine.
I do want to see, like, the finally, like, a dark side actually coming in and challenging the heroes, because the ending was basically like a Mortal Kombat fatality, the death of Steppenwolf. It was so cool. I loved it.
That was sick.
It was just so cool, and then they just flung him into the portal of with Darkseid.
We actually get to
squished his head.
We get to see Darkseid and his army behind him look at the Justice League through a boom tube. It's like, dude, that's my childhood, watching Justice League cartoons.
And he says, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Prepare the Armada. And you just see a bunch of parademons.
Oh, my God. That's so epic, bro. Thank you, Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zack, because all of us fans are happy. If you're a fan of this, you are happy. It's hard to be not happy with this movie.
Right.
And I'm praying that there's a future. I don't know what the future holds. I'm not one of those who's going to speculate. This movie, they're saying this is coming out. They're saying that. Because shit changes all the time. And studios...
I want to see,
I'm not going to speculate.
But like I said, I still want to see like another Justice League movie with Darkseid. Because, then you can have like Shazam be a part of it. Even maybe perhaps potentially Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because they were going to do a Green Lantern Corps film, not just Green Lantern. So like, you know, Jon Stewart, you know, Kyle Rayner, and I forget the main one, but you know,
Hal Jordan.
I'm sorry.
I got you, man.
Because I think it's thanks to the movie that Ryan Reynolds did, maybe. But anyway,
that
doesn't
he
exist.
shall be named.
That doesn't exist either. Well, yeah. I mean, but he
apparently Ryan Reynolds never saw it.
I mean, Deadpool went and shot Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like I think
I'm just hoping that it does continue, but. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so I say thank you. I'm grateful that we have Zack Snyder Justice League. I'm grateful for at least having that because now I can live the rest of my life saying I've seen it, and I'm grateful to have actually seen that. And the first arc of those movies have been fulfilled. So
yeah, for sure.
Whatever the future is, I don't know, but thank you, Zach and studios finally for caving in, for giving us this movie. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, another thing, like, so at the end of the day, yeah, like the future, I mean, it should be. I'm looking forward to see what DC does. This is definitely DC. You know, it's a step in the right direction for the DC movies, for the DC movies, and you know, let's just see what happens, and hopefully.
And it's really if we talk about the competition here, I think it's really their turn to step it up there in the market of movies because Marvel finished
Marvel's
big. Their most. I mean, there's going to be more movies, but their Phase 4s and Avengers and those are pretty much over.
Marvel's kind of chilling actually.
I mean, they're already the king of the comic book movies, box office wise. Yeah, they deserve it. 100%, they deserve it. But like what we are just fans and we're consumers. We pay to watch these movies. We want to see them. So we're paying to watch them. So the company should listen to us fans and all of us, especially Restore the
please
Snyderverse.
comment below.
Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. That's all we care about, right? We just want to see these movies, and we're paying for them. So every solid business has to rely on their customers and give them what they want. So that's all we're asking for as fans. So
that's true. So on that note, yes, great movie. If you have watched the Zack Snyder's Justice League, let us know what you thought about it in the comment section below. What do you think could be the future of the DC Extended Universe? And
what are your thoughts on the Justice League here?
Right.
And favorite Justice League member from the movie?
Oh, that's a good question.
For the audience or what have you.
Okay, sorry. I mean, after this, I like all of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Cyborg.
It was awesome. It's hard to pick. I love them all.
At least in this movie, Cyborg for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you all for watching, for tuning in to the Gooniverse. Stay awesome, stay nerdy, stay goony, stay all those things.
Say bye.
And say bye.
Bye.
To everybody, you want to
say bye, buddy.
I don't want to wave his hand.
He says bye. Follow him on Instagram at Keanu_JRT.
Oh, nice. He has an Instagram.
Yep.
He likes all my posts, which is awesome. Anyway, but yes, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Gooniverse. Follow Mosh on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me. Follow everybody. Tim and John. All those guys. They're going to have an episode of My Hero Academia coming up. We're probably going to do Jujutsu Kaisen at some point. So be on the lookout for that. We got a lot of all kinds of content coming. So stay awesome.
Stay tuned, guys.
We'll see you very, very soon. Thank you for tuning into the Gooniverse.
Peace.